Good morning, Recording Secretary Burr. Are we ready to begin?
Yes, we are. Zoning Administrator Meads.
Well, then, good morning, everyone. I'm Sherry Meads. I'm the zoning administrator for the city of Santa Rosa, and I'd like to call to order the December 1st, 2022 zoning administrator meeting at 10:30 a.m. right on time. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54953E and the recommendation of the Sonoma County Health Officer, the zoning administrator will be facilitating this meeting via Zoom webinar. Members of the public can participate virtually at www.zoom.us/join or by calling toll-free 877-853-5257. The meeting ID number is 811-3207-8596. Members of the public who are accessing the meeting through Zoom can provide comments during the public comment periods. Additional information related to meeting participation is available at www.srcity.org/zoning admin. The meeting is also being live streamed on YouTube at www.youtube.com/City of Santa Rosa. So what we're going to do now is open up a public comment period for non-agenda items. This is an opportunity for anyone on the call to make a public comment about things that are not on our regularly scheduled agenda. And our recording secretary, Buck Height, will provide information on how to do that.
If you're a member of the public wishing to make a comment, you could do so by selecting the raise your hand icon at the bottom of your Zoom screen. If you're calling in, please press *9. The zoning administrator Meads, we don't have any hands raised at this time.
Great, thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and close that public comment and again reiterate that we will have public comment periods after each item today. So item 3 on the agenda is the zoning administrator business, which includes the zoning administrator statement of purpose, which I'm going to read now. The statement of purpose is: the zoning administrator is appointed by the Planning and Economic Development Director and has the authority to conduct public hearings and to take action on applications for minor discretionary projects. Any determination or decision by the zoning administrator may be appealed to the Design Review Board, Cultural Heritage Board, Planning Commission, or City Council as applicable to the decision. We don't have any zoning administrator reports today, so I'm going to move to item 4 on the agenda, which is our consent items. And today we do have one consent item. Item 4.1 is a resolution approving a minor conditional use permit for a mobile food vending use at 505 Santa Rosa Avenue, file number CUP 22-027, and voiding the previously approved minor use permit. And I'll explain why. So on October 20th of this year, we had an acting zoning administrator who heard this item, and during deliberations and from what she heard in public comment, she added a condition of approval that suggested considering addition of 24 outdoor seating spaces. Well, unfortunately, the item had not been noticed with that included as part of the project direction, so that was in error. And we have since spoken with the applicant. He has agreed to remove the condition related to any outdoor seating whatsoever. So the conditional use permit is being approved for the mobile vending use with all other conditions intact, except for there will not be any outdoor seating. So I want to go ahead and open up public comment. If there is any public comment on this, and Recording Secretary Burr will go ahead and provide instructions.
Again, if you're a member of the public wishing to make a comment, you can do so by selecting the raise your hand icon. If you're calling in, please press *9. Zoning administrator Meads we don't have any hands raised at this time.
Great, then I will go ahead and close the public comment period on that item, and I will be signing that revised resolution once it comes across my desk. So next, this takes us to item 5 on the agenda, which is our regularly scheduled items. Item 5.1 is a minor design review application to modify an existing telecommunications facility at 3186 Coffee Lane. City file number is DR 22-044, and we have Senior Planner Susie Murray, who will be presenting on behalf of Sheila Wolski.
See, now, as usual, I have to share my screen. Can you see it?
Looks great, Susie. Thank you.
Perfect. And I'm in presentation mode.
Yes, looks great.
Okay, yes. I'm actually filling in for Sheila Wolski today for a proposal to a minor design review project for the Dish Wireless co-location proposed at 3186 Coffee Lane. Hold on one sec. My notes are covered up. This type of application requires a minor design review. The applicant is requesting to co-locate 3 new panel antennas, 6 remote radio units, and associated attachment equipment on an existing monopole. At ground level, the project also proposes the installation of a concrete pad, 2 new cabinets, ice bridge, and a network interface device. There's an existing, actually a Verizon tower there now, which was approved by the Design Review Board back in 2005. The existing tower is 60 feet tall, and Dish is proposing to co-locate antennas at a center line of 45 feet, which is below that 60-foot height. The general plan land use designation at this location is light industry, and the zoning is consistent with light industrial. That's about that for that slide. The zoning is light industrial. Telecommunications facilities are allowed in compliance with zoning code section 2044 in this land use. And there's a specific section that talks about co-location on an existing telecommunications facility or new transmission equipment on an existing legally established telecommunications facility is subject to minor design review only, consistent with the requirements of section 6409A of the Middle Class Tax Relief and Job Creation Act of 2012, or is otherwise required by federal law, as may be amended from time to time, and shall comply with all applicable provisions of our chapter 20, of that chapter. I'm sorry, misunderstanding this a little bit, which it does. This project has been found in compliance. It does not increase the height of the tower. It does not exceed installation of 4 cabinets, does not entail excavation or deployment outside the current site, and does not defeat concealment elements. So the project provided some photo sims as to what it will look like from 3 vantage points. Those 3 vantage points are shown on this graphic by the yellow circles or the gold circles, and the green circle depicts the location of the tower. The first photo simulation here is from Coffee Lane and Condo Court. And you can see the one on the left is as the tower stands today, and on the right is where the new antennas are, shown by this little black arrow here. This is photosim looking from across the street on Coffee Lane. Again, as you can see, the image on the left shows the new equipment superimposed. And then the third is from Russell Avenue, where again, the photo on the left shows the new equipment superimposed beneath the existing. This is an aerial view of the property that just shows us where the actual equipment is located, which is in the northeast corner, and then a site plan. And here are the elevations that will be provided as part of the construction drawings. And again, it really depicts where this new equipment is going below the existing antennas. And more of the same. After project review, there were no unresolved issues, and so far we have received no public comments. So with that, the proposed project has been reviewed in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act and qualifies for a Class 1 exemption under CEQA Guidelines Section 15301. It's modifications to an existing facility. Planning and Economic Development Department recommends that the zoning administrator by resolution approve a minor design review permit for the property located at 3186 Coffee Lane, file number DR 22044. And for anybody who is calling in that has questions about this project, the project planner is Sheila Walski. Her telephone number is 707-543-4705, and her email address is swolski@srcity.org. That concludes this presentation, and we do have a representative from the applicant team on if you or the public have any questions. They are not planning on making a presentation.
Great, thank you, Senior Planner Murray, I appreciate that. So let's go ahead and open up the public comment period for this item. If Recording Secretary Burke could once again tell us how people can participate if they would like to.
Absolutely. If you're a member of the public and wishing to make a comment, you can do so by selecting the raise your hand icon. If you are calling in, please press *9. Zoning Administrator Meads, I don't see any hands raised.
Okay, great. Well, then I will just go ahead and state that this project does meet.
Zoning Administrator.
I need to close the public comment, don't I?
Yes, please.
I'd like to close the public comment. And now I would just like to state that this project is also found in compliance with the Federal Communications Commission's requirements. So it's current to their requirements, and based on their regulations, the city has to approve anything that is a modification, which this is. So I will be approving this project and sign the resolution when it comes across my desk. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So next on our agenda is item 5.2. Oh, I also need to state that this action is appealable within 10 days if an appeal is filed with the department. So you would want to reach out to the project planner or just the department within 10 calendar days of today's decision. So that would be by Monday, December 12th, 2022. Now we'll move on to item 5.2, which is a minor hillside development permit application for 3888 Sky Farm Drive. The city file number is HDP 22-013, and planner Christian Candelaria is going to present for us.
Good morning. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. Can you see that?
Yeah, looks
Okay.
great.
Thank you. Okay, this is for the Shonessy residence, single family dwelling, and it's a rebuild. This is project file number HDP 22-013, and this is at 388 8 Sky Farm Drive. This is for a minor hillside development permit to allow the applicant to construct a new 6,868 square foot single-family dwelling with a new pool and a porch area. This is a rebuild within the Resilient City Combining District, expanding the original footprint of the home. The original home is 3,939 square feet. This is for neighborhood context. Here you can see where the project site is located with the star, and the zoning is PD 72-001F-RC in Resilient City, and general plan is very low density residential. Here you can see existing terrain slope analysis. And then here you will be able to see the site plan. Here are the elevations for the site, showing the front and the rear. And then I will be showing some rendering, so it's a bit easier to look at for the hillside reasons. Here are the materials and the front rendering. And then we have the renderings for the rear portion. I wanted to move on to the required findings. These are the listed required findings as put into the resolution, and the project site is able to follow these findings. I am going to go over a few of them. This lot is zoned Resilient City and was burned during the 2017 Tubbs fire. The site was already developed and now there is little vegetation on site. The areas to be graded where the slope is greater than 25% are minimal and will not be visually prominent. And the site was previously developed and graded before the 2017 Tubbs fire. The proposed addition in the rear side of the building would be visually insignificant since it is hidden from the public right-of-way. There are currently no existing trees within the development site area, but there are existing trees on the lot and they will remain. This is a fairly large lot, so not everything is located on the development site portion. The applicant must also adhere to condition 7 on the resolution, which states that the final landscape plan shall show the addition of landscaping along the Sky Farm Drive portion and the rear of the property to reduce the visual impact of the proposed single-family home. These plans will be submitted with the building permit process. And then I want to go over the environmental review process. The proposed project has been reviewed in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act and qualifies for a Class 3 and a Class 32 exemption under CEQA guidelines section 15303A and 15303E and 15332 in that the project consists of new construction of small structures, including a single-family dwelling and accessory structures, and it is an infill development project within the city limits that is no more than 5 acres, and it's consistent with zoning and the general plan. There are no unresolved issues as a result of staff review, and no comments have been received for this project. It is recommended by the Planning and Economic Development Department and that the zoning administrator approve by resolution a minor hillside development permit for HDP 22-013 to allow the construction of a 6,868 square foot single family dwelling at 3888 Sky Farm Drive. And if you have any questions, here is my information. And that concludes my presentation.
Great. Thank you, Project Planner Candelaria. Let's go ahead and open public comment for this item. If Recording Secretary Burr could once again tell folks how to participate if they would like.
If you're a member of the public wishing to make a comment, you can do so by selecting the raise your hand icon. If you're calling in, please press *9. The zoning administrator means we don't have any hands raised.
Great. Then I'd like to close the public comment for this item. And thank you for the great presentation and the beautiful renderings. It looks like a wonderful home. I would love to live there. So I did have questions about the trees, I did a Google aerial and I did see that there were some trees remaining. So I'm happy that you did mention that they aren't, I could tell they were pretty far back. They're not expected to be removed. But if you could just maybe draft a condition of approval to memorialize that if any trees are to be removed, it would need to, fit with our tree ordinance and that type of thing.
Yes.
Otherwise, I mean, you've done a great job. I can make all the findings for this. I appreciate the architecture, how it steps down in the rear of the property, and I think it's going to be a beautiful addition to the neighborhood. So I'm happy to approve this project, and we'll sign that revised resolution once it comes across my desk.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, this action is final unless an appeal is filed with the department. Hopefully work with Planner Candelaria within 10 calendar days of today's decision. So once again, that would be by Monday, December 12th. And that concludes today's business of this meeting. This meeting is now adjourned, and I'll see everyone in 2 weeks for the last ZA meeting of 2022.